You think you buy your groceries logically, right? But most Indians buy everyday products without really choosing. And that's not a flaw. It's how our brains survive everyday life. So let's first define what we're talking about. We're not talking about products like cars, phones, or chairs. We're talking about everyday things we buy like soap, toothpaste, tea, oil, rice, biscuits, etc. In other words, they're called the FMCG sector, fast moving consumer goods. Basically, the things we buy again and again. These products are low cost, which means they're low risk and they're bought very frequently. So when purchasing them, our brain switches into low effort mode or habit mode. We rarely investigate or make conscious choices while buying every single time. Because once a product works, we stop questioning it. And that's why in FMCG, habit beats logic. These products are deeply woven into our daily lives, and that's why we become loyal to them. But Indian brand loyalty isn't always about emotional attachment. It's often risk avoidance. People prefer familiarity over experimentation, especially for daily goods. But not all FMCG products behave the same way. So first, let's look into what exactly comes under FMCG. Personal care and hygiene, food and beverages, healthcare or OTC, home care, and stationery and others. In categories where we consume something or apply it on our bodies, habit forms very quickly. Switching brands feels like introducing uncertainty into a routine that already works. So we repeat. This isn't laziness, it's efficiency. And when efficiency becomes the goal, the brain starts cutting corners. Not in a careless way, but in a practical one. It focuses only on what feels necessary and quietly ignores everything that feels extra. And that's exactly what happens with our labels. Most people don't consciously ignore labels. They just never notice them. They don't have the mental bandwidth to search and investigate for information behind a packet, especially when the user experience is so unpleasant. Whether it's the small fonts they use, which are barely readable, or the overlapping text in print, or the excessive marketing clutter over actual relevant information. Amidst all this noise in the back of the packet, origin is one such detail that barely anyone checks. Origin is basically where the product is manufactured or produced, and also whether it's an Indian or a foreign brand. Here are some interesting facts. So, 96% of all FMCG products are manufactured in India. The remaining 4% is imported. Out of these imports, the majority of them are in the category of dry fruits and chocolates. The interesting part is that even though majority of products are manufactured in India, a significant chunk, around 40% of them, are foreign brands that have set up their manufacturing in India to cut down their costs. But how many of us know that these brands aren't even Indian? I did a small experiment to test out how many products packaging have made in India written on it and how hard is it to find it. I timed myself as I searched through different categories of FMCG product packaging, and the results were shocking. It would take an average of 14.2 seconds to find origin info for an English literate person. And more shockingly, on most products, made in India isn't even mentioned, even when the product is made in India. One thing to note is that there is no universal legal mandate for all products made in India to carry a Made in India label on their packaging. The sad part to me is that we don't even know where our everyday food and products are even coming from. In everyday shopping, speed matters more than the details, so our brain chooses ease. So here's the truth. Indian FMCG buying isn't irrational, it's efficient. Habit reduces mental effort, trust reduces risk, and familiarity reduces uncertainty. We don't buy badly, we just buy in such a way that makes our life manageable. When buying daily essentials, people don't optimize savings, they minimize regret. The next time when you buy groceries, notice if you follow these patterns and behaviors too. Do you compare or do you just pick? Also comment any one everyday product that you buy without thinking anymore. The product that has won over your habit. The next time you're buying it, turn the packet around, read the label, and see whether it's made in India and whether it's an Indian brand or a foreign brand that's just manufacturing it in India, or whether it's imported. And once you notice this, you'll never shop the same way again. But there's one thing we haven't talked about: the marketplace. Where you buy these products completely change the way our brain behaves while buying. Whether it's in a kirana store, a supermarket, or a quick commerce app, the same person behaves differently while buying in these different marketplaces. And that's what I'll be talking in the next video. So see you soon and namaste.